Hello, everyone. Welcome to Heart Center Tarot. As always, my name is Marina, and I will be your guide for this portion of the journey. And welcome to Taco Tuesdays with my excellent co-host, David from Tarot by the Bay.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. What should we talk about, David? There's nothing going on.
There's nothing going on. You know, we'll have to probably poll the audience for suggestions or ideas.
I think so, because unless we want to take headlines from the Inquirer and read about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's got to be some Elvis readings that we can catch up on.
Oh, yes. Yeah. He was spotted up here at a 7-Eleven.
Get out. I thought he was at Tim Hortons.
No, he left the Tim Hortons and then went over to the 7-Eleven.
Okay.
That's what happened. Yeah.
I hear fame is hard on him.
Yeah. Hey, Karen Doyle, Claudia Cat Mama Dewdrop in, Marby Gangora, Connie B. Hello. So, what's the weather like your way?
My way? We just got done with the heat wave last week, where we got back up into the mid 30 degrees Celsius or so, and we're back down in the mid to upper 60s. So what that be for you? That'd be about 20 degrees Celsius or so. And it's going to kind of hang. It's going to hang like 18 to 20 for the next week or so. Fall is fallen.
Fall is fallen. Yeah. Well, I'm sitting here, and outside the window, I can see there's between 4 and 6 inches of snow.
Oh my God! Already?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
geez.
It started snowing yesterday, and we are at about 17 Fahrenheit right now. And yeah, it's cold. Snow. Mind you, the dog thinks she died and went to heaven.
Oh, what type of dog do you have?
A husky.
Oh God, yes. He probably screams at you when you tell her it's time to come inside too. No. Yeah, she does. She likes to argue with me sometimes, and I swear that sometimes what I hear her say is, when I say, "Come on, Clarity, time to come in," and she'll do the woo woo thing, and it sounds like, "That's some effing bullshit, Grandma." Exactly. A lot of TikTok videos involving huskies and voiceovers or textovers to translate their howls at you.
Yes. Yeah. And she's normally, she doesn't make a lot of noise. But yeah, there's a few things that she will complain about, and coming in is one of them. She doesn't like to, she will decide what she wants when she wants to come in. So, and hello, Book Bewitch. We've got Mussy Girl here. Hey, Mussy Girl. Rose Flower, Barbara Nespers, Tarot Your Way. Hello, Thomas. How are you? No Name. Hello, No Name. We have a brand up here called No Name.
The ubiquitous No Name.
Yeah. So you've had a interesting week. You've had a busy week at work.
Oh God, yeah. All last week. It started at the beginning of October. Something happened that was unexpected, and it's been all hands on deck for the last couple of weeks. And this week will be a little bit of calm before the storm. It's a report that a deck report wrote that I edited. That's now going to get edited by about 10 people in other departments, and then we've got to get all those edits wrapped up and signed, sealed, delivered by Friday or Monday, and then off it goes. It's been a draining week, and then the political stuff just amped up the last 2 weeks.
I know.
So It's been a busy time, and then today, holy cow! It blew up today?
Yeah, it did. It was hard to know what to pick from all the things to kind of read on. Like, which headline do I want to click on first? Yeah. So I don't have you done a reading on whether or not Putin had a heart attack?
No, I haven't, because somebody posted up yesterday mentioning that, and I looked it up, but none of the mainstream media had picked it up. It was all a bunch of sources I hadn't heard of, and so I didn't want to read on it until it was actually confirmed by some reliable news sources. Interestingly enough, you might know that I'm a big fan of Beau with the Fifth Column, and he actually did a video on that he released this morning, where he basically said all this information came from a single Telegram account that generally gets the information right, and it's anonymous, and that they claim that 2 anonymous guards of Putin reported that to them at this Telegram channel. And he pointed out there's probably a very finite number of guards that Putin allows around him. So if 2 guards allegedly reported this, that's a great way to get unalived in Putin world, since he's rather protective of his health. So I didn't want to read on that one, because it's just like, I confirmed, unconfirmed. I have no idea. That would be purely for entertainment purposes only.
Exactly. And that was something that, honestly, when I first heard about it, I heard that like you say, it came from not an overly reliable source.
Right.
And, we've had Putin on his deathbed several times, and he's been assassinated several times, and blah, blah, blah. But today I had to kind of chuckle when one of the headlines was, no, Vladimir Putin is alive and well and very active. And that came from a source in the Kremlin. That was the Kremlin spokesperson, Vladimir Peskov, who said he's doing just fine. He's okay. And there are no body doubles.
Of course not.
Okay. Well, I was willing to believe you until you said, he was okay. But then, yeah. So, I'm sure that he does have several body doubles out there, and we know he's not doing well. So,
wink. Do you want to throw on it? We can throw on it. It'll be fun.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's throw on it. Right. Hey, Taurus Teddy.
Also known as Sunflower Down Under. She changed her name.
Oh, hello.
The account name has changed, or it's a new account or something.
Oh.
Maybe it's her stealth account.
It could be. Some people like to travel anonymously.
Coming from tomorrow.
Yeah.
Arriving to our channel from tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder how Vlad's doing. How's Vlad's health doing? Yeah. How's his heart health doing? Is he eating almonds and heart-healthy food here? Okay, we got the double card. Boy, this one's been popping up all sorts today as I've been doing my shuffles. Okay, so we've got a problem here. This is, deception and such, crossed with 3 of Pentacles, health and dark health and stuff going on in the background. So, and then you've got the 9 of Cups. All the things that it's like, there's this, it's almost like there's a denial here. Mm-hmm. He had a health incident. People close to him know about it, but they're putting on this face that, no, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Look how healthy and rugged I'm looking. Don't be surprised if you see a picture with his shirt off riding horseback again. Just to get the fanboys all riled up. What do we got? In the past, we got the Moon card. He likes to keep his health condition secret. It's known that he has had prostate cancer, and his health has waxed and waned. His face had swollen up, and there was folks that are familiar with that cancer talk about steroid usage, which is something used to treat that. He dodged a bullet. Whatever happened, I think he did have a heart attack, and he dodged a bullet with that one.
Wow.
That could have been, that was an exit point for him, and people resuscitated him because I guess we're just not done with Vlad quite yet on this planet.
Nice.
A judgment. I wonder if he had a near-death experience. That would actually be amazing if he had a near-death experience, because then maybe it would be amazing because then he could come back and not be such a goddamn fucking pile of shit. But I don't hold my breath on such things as that. I think he came really close to pushing up the daisies with that. But they resuscitated him. They brought him back, and he's going to be going back to the doctor to look at his long-term health. His long-term is the short-term for everybody else, but he's going to have that whole health evaluation. And I think that basically what the doctor is going to say, and that this isn't going to fly really well, is that you need to relax. You need to retire from this job. It's too stressful for you. You can't handle that. The problem is when you're a dictator, retirement often means death. So how do you want to go? Do you want to go to a heart attack, or do you want to go to being to accidentally falling out of a 10-story window to have Swan Lake then played on all the Russian TV stations while they sort out who the next dictator leader is going to be?
Wow.
That's a good reading. I wish I had it for my channel.
Feel free. You know what? I think that he probably did have some kind of an incident, because I start off with the Three of Cups, and when I saw that, I thought, oh, okay, all right. There was a couple people involved in this, trying to. It almost felt like trying to revive him, but not really trying that hard. Like, here, I'll use these two fingers as I'm doing, So, and that was crossed by the Seven of Wands. So, it was it was a discussion. Like, what are we going to do? Well, we have to. Yeah, okay, you go ahead, and I think that he did come close. You're absolutely right with the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, I think he had a chance to look at the other side, and once he got to see the other side, here we got the Four of Cups, which is take a look at what you don't have versus what you do have. I think you're right. I think he probably did come very, very close. And I kind of end with the Ace of Pentacles, which is, it could be money, it could be health too, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
big health event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and especially look in this one. There's the ladder, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what got me with that ladder was, okay, it can go both ways. It can go up or it can go down. So, health could be a major factor. Alrighty. Interesting. We'll have to wait and see what the rest of the world thinks.
I'd be curious to watch his actions, his words and actions over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
And if all of a sudden if there's a marked change in his personality, then I would be willing to believe he had an NDE. Otherwise, I'm just going to go with the he had some chest pains, and the way your reading goes, and I'm chuckling. It's like the two guards are looking at each other like, I don't want to do anything. Let's call the doctor. That ought to take 5 minutes while we just stand around and do nothing and kind of watch him flopping on the ground.
Fan him, give him air,
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in the Rose Blue, we'll Swan Lake Ballet play on. You know
Yes. Fort Carter, man. Fort Carter.
Yeah.
Well, in December, but before the end of the year, will Russian TV be playing Swan Lake, the favorite thing to show when there's a new leader being elected? There's your, I'm upside down again. Well, these cards, there's some familiar cards. There's that Three of Pentacles again. Yeah, there's stuff going on in the background here. Oh, sorrow and disappointment. Ace of Wands. The ending, happy endings. Yeah. My answer is it looks like it. Let's see. Do I really want to go out there with that one? We've got Three of Pentacles. Again, we're talking about his health, a new action plan. Some real disappointments and endings. No, he won't. I don't think he'll be gone by the end of the year. I think what's going to happen is he'll be talking with his doctors on a way to fight off this health issue. But what I think is going to happen is that if he has survived this, he's going to lose some. Either he's going to lose like his physicality or his mental acuity, or he could just, one of those things that he has to give up power. He may not. So on the best case scenario, he may not be dead, but he may be out of power. Best case for the world. And maybe even for him. Worst case scenario is that he's working with his doctors trying to fight through it, but he's going to suffer some physical or intellectual setbacks. And also, I guess the other thing when you look at those Five of Cups is that when a dictator shows weakness, the sharks start moving in.
Yeah.
So, yeah, December's not going to be. It's not going to be a Merry Christmas for Vladimir Putin this December.
No. I start off with the Nine of Cups, and that just kind of tells me again that there was, people heard what Vladimir fell down. No,
they prop him up and they've got a little hand puppet for his mouth.
Yeah, it's like there's, oh my gosh, I hope he's going to be okay. Okay, and then I'm followed by the Queen of Cups. That there was actually some, back rooms celebrating and kind of like, don't say anything to anybody.
Exactly, but
Ace of Wands. Here's what's going to happen. Here's the plan. Here's what we're going to do. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I get the Moon there, and I think this one has to do with him, with Putin directly, in that, this has really brought home to him his own mortality. Like he knows his days are numbered, right? Yeah. So he's, I'll do anything. I'll do this. I'll do that. No. There's going to be a good number of people who are going to be praying for his health. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, this is a big setback for him. This is a big setback. Even just having the rumors of him having a heart attack gets plans of action of people that would think to move against him to start moving. Now, you could say this could be a psyops operation to find out who's going to move against him, but the cards I'm showing seem to indicate he did have a health event, and that starts the ball rolling. And even if he didn't, and there's enough of that ball rolling, that he won't be able to stop it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and you're right. When they smell weakness, they're going to come in. So hello. Let me see who. Kevin came in. Hey, Kevin. Mimi Rose. Nice to see you here. Cat Whisperer. Rose Blue. I hope I did. Christine Brooks. if I miss you, believe me, it's never anything personal. It's just, yeah, too busy playing the mental games in my head. Okay, and Cat Whisperer has a good question, and let's take a look at that. Yeah,
I had done a reading, and in my reading, I was seeing Donald Trump just absolutely losing his mind. I was going to use a different word. I thought it was going to happen today with Michael Cohen's testimony.
Yes.
And nothing I read. Well, interestingly, Trump didn't lose his cool, but Michael Cohen did.
I know.
Getting all snarky and ornery on the witness stand there. So I don't know if I read that energy and attributed it to Trump, and it could have been Michael Cohen. But given the day that Trump had today, I can't imagine he's going to be in a good mood tomorrow, because it's all going to be sinking in.
Yeah, exactly. I like you. I was surprised in the way that Michael Cohen reacted, and that's one of the questions that I have here. Yeah, faces off against Trump, and loses his cool. And I think a lot. He kind of started to lose it when Trump's lawyer, one of them was asking him questions and kind of got a little personal, like, did your wife know that you were doing this or that? And I thought, I'm sure that Trump gave them all kinds of information on Cohen and how to get to him, right? Yeah. And this is one way is, bring his family into it and watch him. And he fell for it. He's a lawyer. He should know better. So I think we'll see a different Michael Cohen tomorrow. But
the other thing to sort of throw out there is, again, there's no jury here. That would have worked on a jury, but this is the judge. The judge can overlook stuff like this and not be swayed, because he'll be looking at the evidence. And it's funny, Michael Cohen mentioned that Alan Weisselberg and he used to get together and come up with cook the books to come up with numbers to match Trump's proposed net worth. And Alan Weisselberg just doesn't seem to remember any of those meetings, which happen probably 4 times a year, every quarter, because he wants to make Forbes's list. So who's going to be more credible on that one? The guy says, this absolutely happened. But the guy says, I don't really recall.
Okay, well, then you can't say it didn't happen if you don't recall, right?
Exactly. Donald Trump. Was Donald Trump going to lose control? Oh, entirely possible. Let's see. What do we got? Energy around Donald Trump. Page of Cups. Okay, is he going to throw together a word salad here? There's some weirdness going on here. Who's acting weird? Ace of Swords. Okay, so he's going to go on TV, or he's going to he could be tweeting stuff or doing whatever he does on his social media channel here. Yeah. He's going to be saying just a bunch of accusations and just things that aren't true, that only his base would believe, but that he's totally exonerated. Michael Cohen's a liar and stuff like that. But all this is happening over media, either in front of the TV cameras or social media or something along those lines. Yeah. But he's going to be going after Michael Cohen in that Wheel of Fortune in the past. Michael Cohen and Donald Trump, they traveled together. They were interacting with each other. Fixer for Trump, and then Cohen got caught, and Trump wants him to take the fall for him, and Cohen went a different way. So now the wheel splits, and they are both on their own paths, still parallel, but or says they still close paths, but they're starting to diverge. But right at this point, they're closing in together. Current situation is the Page of Swords. How funny! Trump thinks he's got the Ace of Swords. He thinks he's got this super duper great idea that's really going to drive his point home, but he doesn't know what to do with it. He's a page. He's unskilled. And whatever he's going to do to besmirch Michael Cohen, he's not skilled at it. And overarching energy is the devil. Now this could also be Michael Cohen in court today being a bit of a rookie. Come on, you know better than that. You're supposed to be better than this, but you weren't. But again, the devil can get under Michael Cohen's skin. But Trump to the epitome of Trump. I'm sort of switching up gears here. Let's see where this goes. I'll get back. Oh, judgment. Okay. All right. Actually, I don't think this is telling me how Trump's going to react. Maybe it is. Okay, a couple of different ways to read this. So, Cohen's testimony today was a bit odd. He didn't act professionally. Got angry. He should know better. He's a lawyer. He should know better than that. He acted like a rookie. But this is Trump, and Trump does know how to get under your skin. The judge is watching, and it could impact the judgment. It's not going to impact it that much. I think things actually will be pretty calm because I got the Queen of Cups here, which is keeping a lid on things. Now, that being said, if Trump could blow this up. There is the potential there for this thing to blow up, just because you got somebody who has a weapon that they don't know what they're doing. That's when people are their most dangerous. Have a weapon, you don't know what you're doing, but you act like you know everything. You act like you can do all this. Trump could be out there trumpeting his thing on social media, and the Queen of Cups is usually keeping things under calm. I wonder if the judge has some words for them, for like Michael Cohen during the beginning of the cross tomorrow to keep things down. I suspect what's going to happen is that Trump's going to amplify things tonight, and then when the court case starts tomorrow, the judge is going to warn both sides about the passion levels and such, and just tell Michael Cohen, ask the questions. Tell Michael Cohen's lawyers, if you think the questions are out of line, raise an objection. Don't have your client doing it from the witness stand. And and I guess from the judge's point of view, to the prosecute to Trump's team, is that keep your questions relevant to the case at hand. I think there's going to be admonishments all around for everyone.
Yeah, I think so. And I think part of Cohen a little bit today was, he went to jail for this guy, right? There was a lot of things that he did for Donald. Now all of a sudden, Donald is kind of taking the, Michael who? Did he bring me coffee one day kind of attitude, right? So I can see where Michael would still be angry about the fact that, I had to go to prison. I had to be away from my family, and you SOB, here you are and, doing all that. So I think there's going to be a different Michael Cohen that's going to show up tomorrow. And I think he's going to be, this was something he had to get off his chest. As for how Donald's going to do, he's facing his moment of justice, and he doesn't like it. He doesn't like the fact that there is someone who can talk about what he did and how he did it with some knowledge of the process. It's one thing to guess. It's another thing to have someone say, no, and we did this and this and this, and this is who was there and whatnot. So, I think it's not going to go well for Donald. He is going to get his bit, but he sees himself as the star. It's like, it's me. And I got the Wheel of Fortune as well. That what he has done in the past is not going to work for him. So I think you're probably right in that he's he's going to end up doing something stupid. Okay. I also get the Nine of Swords in that Trump is worried about what else Michael Cohen is going to say, and what evidence Michael Cohen might come up with, right? Because they don't know what he has. So Trump is going through kind of a decision phase where he did with the Two of Wands, trying to figure out, what he's going to do and what he's going to throw out there to get people's attention away from what's happening. It's not going to work. He's the hanged man. He's if anything, he's going to push people to see things more from Cohen's point of view than from his. So I don't think that's going to work for him very well. And at the bottom of the deck, I got Judgment. So no, I think that tomorrow is going to be a much, much better day for Cohen. And Trump is going to be the one who loses it. And I think he's the one that's going to get punished, because I think you're absolutely right. He's going to get on his Truth Social and talk about Michael Cohen this, Michael Cohen that, blah, blah, blah. And we know that, this judge isn't going to put up with a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Not only that, but I think he ruled today that the information that Trump used when he was trying to buy the
Buffalo Bills football team.
Yes. Yeah. The financial information that he used can be admissible as evidence.
Yep.
And Donald did not want that. That made him very angry. So
It's funny watching him try to hand wave it away. It's like, I put a bid and it didn't get accepted. Somebody else put a bigger bid. So why would you even consider this? It's because you said your net worth was $8 billion. So we're kind of curious how you justified that. The same net worth you say is $1 billion when it comes tax time.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let me see what else do we have here. Okay, Rose Blue. Will there be a shutdown in December?
Okay.
Will there be a shutdown in December? I don't understand it. You're supposed to.
Okay, so
December 19th.
And the whole thing that led to the giant shit show that is the House of Representatives in the United States was we had a budget that was coming due at the end of September, beginning of October.
Yeah.
And Kevin McCarthy was the House Speaker, tried to get a budget put through using only Republicans, and they were adding all sorts of things to the budget to, like, you're going to get rid of Social Security and gut Medicare and, ban the letter M from the alphabet, whatever it was that they wanted to get rid of. And eventually what ended up happening was the Senate, realizing the House wasn't going to do their job and present a draft budget to give to them, for them to edit and give it back, drafted their own budget, and which is, I think, pretty much a continuation of last year's budget. And at the last moment, McCarthy reached out to the Democrats to get the votes to pass it. And so the budget passed, and then that's when Matt Gaetz basically said, I don't want you to be the speaker anymore, and 8 Republicans voted against McCarthy, so the Republican majority couldn't keep him in, and out he went. Now, that deal that McCarthy signed was only good for 45 days. So it's going to go through basically like December 14th or December 15th, something along those lines. And then the government won't be funded, which means that federal employees, generally speaking, won't be getting a paycheck. And that impacts their ability, and since most Americans, barely have like $400 to cover emergencies, it's going to cause a lot of financial hardship on a lot of Americans, because it's not just the workers that don't have the money, but it's other companies that work with the U.S. government that also won't be getting paid. Exactly. And it impacts them.
Okay.
And there's a lot of speculation that what's happening right now with the House Speaker, or the lack thereof, is just MAGA's way of causing the government to shut down, because that's what MAGA wants. They want the government to shut down. And they don't care who gets hurt. They just want to show that the government is useless and we don't want it, and we want to burn it all down to the ground. And if you don't have a House Speaker, you can't advance the agenda. So anytime they advance one of these horrible troglodytes of a Republican, and as somebody who's a former Republican, let me say, these guys are the worst horrible troglodytes I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
They give a bad name to knuckle draggers everywhere. They wouldn't even agree on them. This last guy was horrific, and they couldn't. He had 28 people against him. Okay, so what's the question? Will there be a shutdown? Okay, let's find out. MAGA sure wants one. It's going to be up to the Republican leadership to not have one. What's going to happen? Are we going to have a government shutdown? Okay, so there's a plan in place, slow and steady, regarding the budget and trying to get this budget done. So there's progress being made. We don't see it. Yeah, and people are working on it. People are working on the budget. They're trying to work out deals. In some ways, I think this is the Republican leadership of the traditional conservatives trying to figure out a way that they can get their House Speaker in there to get this budget done, because they know they need to get the budget done, because as much as they try to say, 212 Democrats voted against McCarthy, and that's 96% of the votes that got McCarthy out, everybody knows that no Republicans voted for Nancy Pelosi when she was the House Speaker. Why would Republicans think the Democrats should vote for Kevin McCarthy? That's just not the way it works. So they're going to be concerned because they know they're going to get blamed for this, and they're going to pay the price. Mm-hmm. In the past, we've got the Four of Pentacles trying to notice all the money cards here too. It's all about money.
Yeah.
Trying to keep the party together to get through this budget thing, but that's in the past. Backgates made sure that the party was blown up. Current situation in that Page of Swords again, they look absolutely feckless. They look like total rookies, unable to govern, unable to come to a consensus. To put it nicely and truthfully, the Republicans that are currently in the House have been in there for a while, and they ran on they were going to block everything Obama did.
Yeah,
that was their platform: prevent any progress, stop Obama in his tracks. And then when Trump got in there, these are not legislatures; these are blockers. These are guys that tear things down. Now, with Trump, they had the ultimate in people that he could agree with, so they remained in lockstep all through 2020. But now, when it actually comes time to legislate, when you have a barest majority, what they've learned is that being more and more extreme is the best way to get reelected and raise money.
Yeah.
And so they don't know how to agree. They don't know how to legislate. They just know how to obstruct. And that's the problem they have now, is they don't have people to unify the party, because everybody, if you make a lot of noise and you obstruct, you get paid. You're the squeaky wheel.
Yeah.
I'm losing focus here. Okay, shut down. Okay, so people are working on it, the Page of Swords. And what they need is a strong leader that comes in and takes the MAGA party. This is mostly the MAGAs, but it's going to take control of the party and say, hey, this is what we're doing. Get over it. Nobody cares about your feelings. And it's going to be up to that leadership to actually take action to put this plan into place. It's going to take some strong leadership, which the Republican Party does not show a backbone to save their lives, and to do something to stop this budget crisis from happening. The outcome is the Queen of Wands. There's passion behind it, but I'm not getting any sense of urgency here. It really depends on if the leadership will stand up and do something. Who's the Queen of Wands here? I hardly think it's Elise Stefanik. That's not who I think this would be.
No.
a woman with fire energy. Liz Cheney's come up so many different times, so many different cards.
I know.
I don't have a card for her. But it's not answering. Is it going to be a shutdown? If we don't get a strong leader pushing it, yes. If we don't get a strong leader pushing it, yes. This Queen of Wands could be nothing more than that compassionate, empathetic, feminine energy of, hey, do we really want to do this during Christmas time?
Yeah.
Do we really want to do this during the holidays? Maybe we should get up and do something. You know who this might be? Queen of Wands might actually be Orville Redenbacher, Patrick McHenry. He might be the Queen of Wands. Let me throw some clarifiers on that one just to describe who the Queen of Wands is here. Because it's like kind of like that. It's not the king. It's not the leader. And this is not to demean women by any sort that they can't be leaders or something like that. But the Queen of Wands is more like the caretaker of it, whereas the King of Wands would be the driver of it. That's why I'm coming up with Patrick McHenry on that. But let's see if that's the case here. I often find that when I'm referring to the Queen as something that may be subordinate to the King, it's not. I always say this has nothing to do with gender. It's just the hierarchy of the cards I'm looking at.
Yeah.
Sexist pile of shit that I am. Okay, Queen of Wands. It's somebody who's patient and can integrate things. Women celebrating. Knows how to make priorities. What is this? Seven of Cups. It's a lack of integrity. Illusion, delusion. I think it's somebody who, it's like they have no delusions about what their role is. It's a very simple role. Get people together, get this budget done, and we all celebrate and go home and have drinks. And my job is over. I still think it's Patrick McHenry on that one. Now, in my readings, I have seen Liz Cheney come in the January, February timeframe. But if we're talking by the end of the year, it's going to be a Patrick McHenry or nobody would be. We're both muted, you coughing and me shuffling.
Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, sorry. I just, Cat Whisperer said that, I think she agrees with you that Patrick gives off a feminine energy. So it could very well be that. Okay. So I start this off with the Tower. So
oh God. Well, there you have your answer.
Yeah. These are people who are they are willing to cut off their nose to spite their face just so that they can, in a misguided way, say, well, I stuck to my principles. Well, no, you didn't. But okay, so I get the Tower moment, and it's crossed by justice. So somebody is going to come in and say, enough is enough. Okay, kids, that's it. Everybody's getting a timeout. Do your thing. And it is going to be someone who's going to be able to reach across the aisle and let's get things done. Like, the adults in the room need to come out and take control. I think that what this does is the more that they dig their heels in, the more that they are signing their the death warrant of the Republican Party, right? Wheel of Fortune. No more. People have had enough. Things are going to start to change. It's time to get rid of the devil. It's time to cut your ties to the devil. He's not serving you anymore. He's not providing you with what you need. And then go into the Five of Wands, which is all that internal fighting, and then end with the Chariot. That when cooler heads get together and they say enough is enough, that's boom. It's not going to take a long time. It's something that's going to happen fairly quickly. And I think that, yeah, they're going to come in. And I got the Page of Cups at the bottom. Yeah, they're not able to appeal to the people anymore. You know, the people that they're appealing to aren't listening. They're done. And it's unfortunate that it has to get to this point before maybe some of the mega people realize that there's something wrong. As soon as it starts to affect them personally, that's when they're going to say, no, wait a minute. No, I didn't sign up for that. And I think they're going to get very close to doing that. That's when the megas are going to stand up and say, no. And yeah, that's when the adults step in. And I think it's going to be, it is going to be a tower moment for a lot of the megas, like you say, who came in just to, their whole idea is to obstruct anything and everything. And they've just taken it so far that they're even willing to, stand in the way of their own people.
Yeah.
Just because, it's my ball. It's my playground. It's my sandbox. Yeah. Not good. So with our, yeah, okay. Will there be a shutdown? If there is, it's going to be the end. It's going to be the end of the Republican Party. Yeah, I don't think that they can come back and rebrand themselves from this. So, yeah, I still get a feeling. Still get Liz Cheney. She just keeps coming up.
Yeah, I think Patrick McHenry may be the bridge that gets the budget, the Israel and the Ukraine funding bills out of the House and over to the Senate. But from the Democrats' point of view, once that's done, they really don't need McHenry in there. They'll want to get that stuff. And then if the Republicans want to be the drunken hillbilly brawl party, then knock yourselves out. Let everybody see you show your asses to everyone in this world. Because the only thing that's next to handle is the raising of the debt ceiling in January of 2025.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And they've got, I think I read, they've got until November 17th, I think, if I read that.
That sounds right.
Yeah, to do something. And yeah, don't mess with people's Christmas, for the love of God.
Yeah.
Do not do that.
Yeah, I think the impression I've had, even though they said the McHenry thing is dead, the Republican leadership is going to realize, especially after this last vote they had with Emmers, that it's like, oh my God, 28 people said no after he just talking with them and saying with that, there were 28 people that weren't going to vote for him.
Yeah.
And probably half of those were going to be hardcore no's. There was just no chance in heck that he was going to get through. The Republican leadership at some point is going to realize that they can't do this, so they're going to have to work with the Democrats just as a stopgap measure to get McHenry through there. And if they do that, expect the MAGA faction is going to lose their freaking mind, and they'll try and they'll cause problems. They won't be able to do anything about McHenry because the Democrats will be there for bipartisan support to support him. So that'll get you through the end of the year. McHenry sits down, and then the MAGAs go full MAGA. And at that point, the Republican leadership, they're going to need to reach out to somebody outside of the caucus that the Democrats will agree is a respectable, serious-minded politician to bring in, because there's nobody on the Republican side that the Republicans would that the Republicans can get through their own caucus.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to do something outside of it. This is just really interesting how this all will pan out.
It is. Yeah. It is absolutely. Yeah. So I noticed earlier, um, Claudia, Cat Mama, wanted to know what made you change from a conservative to liberal.
I have it in my about. I have a video, like a 45-minute long, just a short little thing video on my page, just kind of documenting the spiritual journey. High level, I grew up in a very conservative family. My father was very involved with the Republican Party. He was part of the Reagan for Governor of California campaign, getting Shirley Temple Black into the assembly, part of the Republicans to get Reagan nominated, and he was in local politics. And my dad was a really bright guy. So teenager get ready to vote. Dad's really smart. Dad votes Republican, so that's the way to go. And he gave me all the same mantras. Republicans love their country, and they're proud of their country, and they're fiscally responsible, and da 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 da. So you follow that. And then as life moves on, what was happening was more and more the Republican Party was moving to the right. And as I moved out of the house, I'm becoming more my own person as opposed to the person who I put on the pedestal, which is my father. So I'm starting to develop my own personality, my own values. I'm seeing more of the world. And I'm watching the Republican Party just move further and further to the right. And somewhere in the early mid-90s, you know what it was? It was when they were touting family values as a party platform. I'm like, what the heck? Man, that's not what I'm on about. I don't want anybody telling my family values are. I want to know about fiscal responsibility, strong military presence, and patriotic Americans. And it's like, keep your morals out of it. That's for your churches and stuff. That's not politics. I don't want that in there. And I kept waiting for the Republican Party to come back. And after about 5 or 10 years, I realized they were never coming back. And that was a real hard thing to do. I could have voted. I could have, by 2000, I didn't like Clinton. I thought, no, he was a liar, and I don't like liars. Well, apparently all liars. He only lied about getting a Hummer in the White House. I could probably let that go.
Which you would think that the GOP would approve of, because
family values.
We've got Vape, we've got Jim Jordan.
I would have been okay either way with Gore or W in 2000. And 2004, I thought W should be voted out because he invaded a sovereign country on bad information, and he should pay the political price for it. So I did vote for John Kerry, I believe it was back then. And Barack, as much as I liked McCain and the thought of McCain, Barack Obama just seemed like it was just so obvious he was the right person for the job at that moment. It's amazing that we were gifted with that man at that time in our lives. And it's not even a question if you vote for Hillary Clinton or Donald Trump. It's not even a close question. Who's the politician and who's the narcissistic, egomaniac, liar, con artist? It's only gotten worse.
It has. So there you go, Claudia. Now you have your answer.
Sorry, it wasn't a short answer.
That's all right. There is so much crap going on out there right now that I think I have to look at things more with that humorous slant, just to be able to keep keep my own energy up high.
Yeah, if you can't laugh, this world will just eat you alive.
Yeah, absolutely. And have to do that. It helps me stay sane, or as sane as whatever. There are laws up here. They can't lock me up. So.
And if you think about it, there was an article I read. I just saw it again recently. Somebody had reposted it on one of the things. If you look up, Donald Trump, British humor, something along those lines. Somebody wrote an article about the Britons have this sensibility that they really appreciate somebody with wit and humor, and they realize that Donald Trump has neither. Yeah. He substitutes mean-spirited comment for humor. And the author was like, I've never seen anybody who never had a sense of humor. And that's Donald Trump to a T. Watch him. He never laughs, ever.
No. Nothing is ever funny because everything is personal. Everything is either directly aimed at him or indirectly aimed at him. Right? So yeah, no, there is no humor in that man's life. None. None. Okay, let me see. What else did I have in here? Okay, we're at 55 minutes, so let's see. Yeah. Rose Blue says, I love Brit comedy. I love the Monty Python series. Oh, please.
I had the DVD set too. I donated to the local library when I moved. And then only after that did I find out a couple years later my daughter was starting to watch the old Python series. It's like, oh, I wish I had known that. I had all the DVDs.
Yeah.
We had them on PBS, and it took a while. I was probably about 10, 12 years old when they first came on. It took a while to keep up with their accent because they can speak so quickly to understand it. But once you got it down, Python is brilliant, and it's timeless. Yes. They didn't do many period pieces. So the Society for Putting Things on Top of Other Things is still as funny today. They're talking about ridiculous government bureaucracy as it was back in 1970.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Ministry of whatever walks.
Silly walks. Yes, the Ministry of Silly walks. They have less funding. They have the military, something else, and Silly walks. The number 3 funded government agency.
Yeah. And Benny Hill, absolutely. Benny Hill was hilarious. There's a lot of British comedies that I could watch them over and over and over again and still laugh in the same spots and still find them funny, even though I know what's coming. And they're Keeping Up Appearances with Hyacinth.
Hyacinth Bouquet.
Fernand's Bouquet.
Yes.
Yeah, and Benny Hill, absolutely. Those things are timeless. Yeah, you're right. So I'm glad that a lot of the younger folks are beginning to kind of pay attention to it and watch them and find them just as funny.
Yeah,
because they talked about things that were important in that day, just as they are now. People don't change all that much, right? Yeah, the McAfee used the dead parrot reference in an appeal.
Yep. Matter of fact, Rose, when I saw that one, I cackled out loud. My wife was like, "What?" So she wasn't familiar with the dead parrot sketch, so I had to have her watch the dead parrot sketch so that she could understand the reference that Judge McAfee put on there.
Yes, yeah, on the buses. Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's just so many of them out there. So, all right, listen. Do we want to do a little bit of a read on what folks can concentrate on over the next week or so?
Oh, sure. Okay. A message from Spirit on.
Yeah, for the collective.
For the collective.
Yeah. And if you're feeling a little overwhelmed by the news, here's a good idea. Yeah, go ahead and go on YouTube and look up some British comedies and just watch them and laugh. Watch Monty Python, Life of Brian.
Okay, let's see. What do we got? Spirit message for folks.
Yeah.
Okay, so Queen of Cups. It's trying times, and it's kind of like this is a hard time. There's so much emotion going on with the world right now that it's hard to keep your. It's hard not to just go screaming into the night about everything that's going on, because injustices are being exposed. But with the injustices exposed, which is what causes democratic or liberal outrage, no pearl clutching there, it allows for justice to come in, because now we know where the injustices are. Let justice come in. No, keep the faith that justice has arrived. It moves slow, but it's arrived. As far as yourself, you're in control of yourself. You're in control of your actions. And think about what your actions are. Instead of, Thanksgiving's coming up, instead of blurting out at your drunken uncle, think about what you want to say. Think about the consequences, the good and the bad of everything that you do. Because, I guess, kind of what it is what you feel, what you put out there impacts the world. So do you want to be high energy? Do you want to be low energy? How does it impact the world? And this is probably more for me than anything else. Just because I have a sense of what right and wrong is and what I think justice is, doesn't mean I get to have a say in what it actually is. And that drives me nuts. If I was in charge, things would be so different.
Yeah, I know.
Things would be very different, trust me. I'm one of the old gods, not one of the new ones. Yeah, there'd be a lot of very unhappy people right now. But I don't get to be that way. And the way I describe it is I see life through a little peephole or a porthole. I only see this much. I don't see the big picture of everything going on and how this little thing happens over there. So from my myopic view, what I think is justice may not be the best thing for the whole collective. That being said, I want more control.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. And I think I started off with the Page of Pentacles, right? Which is, pay attention to what you hold dear. Pay attention to what means something to you. And then I moved to Strength. So find strength by being able to look at the people around you and look at them in terms of what you have in common versus what you disagree on. And I think if everybody was to kind of give into that a little bit, we would find that we have a lot more in common than we have to disagree. Get away from the me, them, right? It's we. We are all collective. We are all we. We look after each other. And so Nine of Cups. So, there's good things. There's good things coming. It's time to kind of, put aside a lot of the worries, because worrying about something isn't going to change anything. All it's going to do is it's going to give you an ulcer, right? And then the thing that you were worried about, does it suffer? No, you're the one that suffers. So let go of some of that and just look forward. Look forward, put your good intention in front of you. And, as Autumn says, there are good days ahead. There are absolutely better days ahead, and things are going to be fine. And there is going to come a time in the not too distant future where we are going to be able to look back on this and go, oh my God, can you believe that? Do you remember? Were you there? Yeah, exactly.
And how much do we want to rub it in somebody's face, and it doesn't do you any good.
Yeah, I try not to give into that part of me, but every once in a while, like I've said several times, every once in a while, my inner Karen needs to come out. And
the hard part is it's not because of the difference of opinion, because you can be right and never rub it in somebody's face, but it's just been loud and obnoxious and in your face and belittling and demeaning and all that. And you just want to give it back to them in one punch right to the nose. And how you feeling now there, champ? And by the way, this is for you. Pow.
Yeah, I know. And there are much more benevolent energies out there that are going to take care of those people in a way that is going to be more powerful than anything that I could do or say to them. That's
Yes.
my thing that I rely on is the universe
Yes.
going to get you. All I can hope for is to be there to see it.
And intellectually and spiritually, I am right there with you.
Yeah, I know.
But I want my Ace of Wands moment, damn it. But yeah, God, can I have 5 minutes, please? Can I be omnipotent for 5 minutes? Because you're not using you're not using the stick properly.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Let me show you how you should be using it. Maybe you don't know how. Let me show you how it can be used. You can choose later if you want to use it that way or not.
That's
Grumble,
right.
grumble, grumble. God, I'm such a grump.
Yeah. So just be hopeful, folks, and laugh whenever you can. Just laugh and say, yeah. Anyway. So, David, as always, a pleasure.
Thank you for having me on, and thank you for everybody in the chat for your questions. And
Yes.
I also wanted to thank Joni Angels Are For Real for your generosity. Appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. May that be returned to you thousandfold. So there. Alrighty. Well, listen, folks, you have a great rest of the evening. And take care. And David, if I don't see you beforehand, I will see you in 2 weeks' time.
Yes,
Same
you will.
channel.
Exactly.
Same time.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. Take care. Bye-bye.